On Thursday, January 9th, at 3:40 p.m., we received information about a potential water issue. By the time 5 o'clock, do not use order was issued.
It's occurring in real time. It's happened as the material gets in the river.
That product made its way into the Elk River and eventually into the intake of West Virginia America's water system.
This proposed legislation will assure that all above-ground storage tanks are built and maintained consistent with required safety standards.
This can be a wake-up call for the entire United States.
On January 9th, 2014, we were alerted of a spill at a facility upstream of the Kanawha Valley plant.
Obviously, a third party, spilling a contaminant into the river is something that can happen, but you hope never does.
We took thousands of samples. We worked with the National Guard, emergency services, and other various agencies throughout the valley to ensure that we were meeting the requirements of the water utility.
After the spill in 2014, West Virginia enacted regulations that require source water protection programming across the state, which very few states in the nation have those regulations and requirements. For us here at American Water, it prompted a much more robust program, much more integrated into our everyday operations.
Most water plants test for just a couple parameters for source water. We have 8 different parameters we test continuously for. We look for organic compounds in the water, things like benzene or toluene. We also have the capability to grab samples and look for up to 90,000 different compounds. Not all water utilities in West Virginia have this equipment. A lot of those have some source water monitoring, but not to the extent we do. But we can use those instruments to process samples for our other facilities in West Virginia as well. If our customers or any of the public are interested in water quality parameters, they can go to our website and they can look at our consumer confidence reports 24/7. Consumer confidence reports has a lot of information on the testing that we do in our treatment plants, on our source water, and it has information about where your source of water comes from. It has information on emerging contaminants. We have 2 upstream monitoring stations on the Elk River for the Kanawha Valley system. With those, we can detect contaminants early and prepare for them and respond appropriately.
Facilities that are upstream of our intake, there are no specific requirements or regulations that require those facilities to communicate with us or to interact with us. So it's a challenge to learn how to develop relationships with those facilities so that we can better prepare our operations. A really good example of working together with partners would be the train derailment that occurred in East Palestine. That took just collaboration from a lot of different folks in order to respond to that.
The worst time to get to know someone is in the middle of emergency. It's way better to get to know those folks well beforehand so that when something actually does transpire, you've already had conversations, you've already had collaboration, you've hopefully gone through a mock situation so you kind of see how each other operate. We also have to build flexibility and agility into our plans because we make assumptions around what we think we can do and what we think is going to happen, and then in an actual event, you end up always having to pivot. I talk a lot about not getting good, but getting better. Getting good implies we come to a point of where we did it, we're done. And that will never be the case with our source water protection. We want to constantly make it better. Our treatment facility here, our source water protection programs are both award-winning.
We're proud to say that we are leaders in source water protection, not just here in West Virginia, but across the country, nationwide. The programming that has been implemented here over the years is considered best management practices across the country. There's also areas for improvement in terms of additional leadership in the source water protection space, not just focused on, say, point source pollution, but also being focused on more of a holistic watershed approach, so that way we are able to just work with other partners in the watershed and ensure that we are protecting our sources for years to come.
I myself, and I know a lot of folks in this state, have grown up in situations where you didn't always have easy access to drinking water. I grew up in a very rural part of Kentucky, and we were on a well system that in a lot of summers, that well would dry up. So both personally and as a company, I am fully committed, and our company is fully committed to our mission of providing safe, reliable drinking water to our customers, to the communities we serve. We don't just know that that's something we're supposed to do. We are fully passionate on a daily basis of delivering that for our customers.